This is a great last minute project for the Christmas table. It's one of my favorites and it's really easy to do. My name is Kelly Rossouw and let's get clacking. There are only a few things that you need for this project. And the first are your favorite Christmas serviettes. And we have a little visitor again. This kind of project works best on a plain color. So as nice as Sam finds these little patterned ones, I find that you tend to get much better results or much more visible results on just a plain color. So I will show you what it looks like on both patterned ones as well as on a plain color serviette. You're also going to need the HTV of your choice. I'm going to be using TechWrap HTV, and I will share the links to all the materials that I'm using down below, as well as a small little discount code for you to get a little bit off. For this project, I will be using my Easy Press Mini. I find it a lot easier with these small projects to just use the Mini, as you don't need the large press, unless you want to do many of them at a time, which you can probably do. You can use any one of your Cricut machines, as you're going to be making small names, so the size of the machine doesn't matter here. I would recommend some Teflon sheeting, butcher paper, silicone paper, or parchment paper. Please don't use wax paper, as wax melts under heat and can destroy your project or your press. You may need to use some heat tape to secure your design in place, but you shouldn't need to, and some heat tapes may even destroy your serviettes depending on how sticky your heat tape is and how soft your serviettes are. So please test it before you go ahead and use heat tape on your serviettes. The font that I will be using is the Christmas Wonderland font from Creative Fabrica. This specific font is exclusive to Creative Fabrica, so you'll only be able to get it through them. I will leave a link down below to a subscription license if you don't yet have one. I use mine for so many of my projects, and it costs me only $5 a month on an annual license, which is super, super cheap. So I'm going to just download this font and open it up. Double click on the OTF file and click install. And once it has been installed to your computer, you can open Design Space, or you can force a Design Space reload by clicking the three little dots in the top right hand of your screen, go under View, and then you can go Reload or Force Reload. And that was a trick that I learned from some of you guys that commented on my video. So if you have a fun Design Space tip that you want to share with me, leave a tip down below and maybe somebody else can also learn something from that. I love it when you share this kind of information with me. It really makes me happy and I get to learn things from you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to click New Project, and then I'm going to start with a blank canvas. Because I'm just going to be cutting out names, I don't need to worry about uploading anything else. The font is already installed to my computer, and we will see where to access it in a moment. So I'm going to click on Text, and I'm going to type in my name. I'm going to then select the font section in the top left, and this is not a Cricut font, it is a system font. So I need to select the second little tab that says System. And from here I can just type in the name. So I'm just going to type in Wonder for Wonderland, because I know that it'll come up as the first search result. And because I really like this font, I'm going to bookmark it so that I can get it from the bookmarks and not really have to search for it all that much again. And then I'm going to select the font. And you can see it's now changed my name into this beautiful font. This font does also come with special characters. But if you don't want to use the special flourishes and things that this font comes with, then you can skip ahead a little bit. I will leave the timestamp here, as this can get a little bit confusing if you're not used to it. On my computer, I'm going to hit the Windows button. And then I'm going to select Character Map, which I have pinned onto my Start menu. If you don't have it pinned onto your Start menu, you can just start typing the first 4 letters of Character Map, and it should bring it up right there for you. So then you can click it, and it will then open up this little screen for you. The first thing we're going to do is select the font that we want to use. So I'm going to click on the drop down and scroll down until we get to Christmas Wonderland. Now you can see that this font is here, and if you click on it, you'll see the letters and whatnot that it has, so we know we've got the right font. The next step is to come down to the Group By section, and instead of All, I want to click that drop down and select Unicode Subrange. and a little box will pop up right next to it. And we're going to again scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on private use characters. Here you will see the fun letters that they have that may be available for whatever letter you want to use. And luckily for me, the K is one of those special letters. So I'm going to select the K, and then I'm going to click the select button so that I can easily copy it from here. If you want to, you can just copy all of the letters into Cricut Design Space if you're making multiple people's names on the serviettes. I'm going to do just one at a time for now. So I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go back into Design Space, and I'm just going to paste it. So I can right click and click paste. And then I'm going to delete the K, and there we go, a fun special character. And this particular font also has some fun other little designs that we can use. So if we want to really make our design a little bit fun, we can actually add all of these in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add each of those little designs, and I'm going to copy all of those, open up a new text box, and add each one of those in. So now we have all of these super fun Christmassy designs in there that we can now use. And now we can make the name title look however we want it to look. So I'm going to select on the name, and I'm going to click on Advanced and Ungroup to Letters. I want to make my K a little bit bigger, and this one I'm also going to ungroup to letters so that I can select each one individually and start playing around with them. Because this design is going to be relatively small, things like the star and maybe even the snowflake I might stay away from, as the details might get a little bit too small for this particular design. But the holly leaves work really well, and the little Christmas trees, and you can just have a lot of fun with the designs. And once you're done, you can remove everything that you don't need. And once you're done with your design, you can select everything, right click, combine, and weld, so that it is all one solid layer, and anything else on the screen you can just delete. From here, I need to make sure that it is ready to cut out of heat transfer vinyl. So I need to mirror it, because I'm cutting into the back of the heat transfer vinyl and then turning that over to place it onto the item. So I'm going to hit flip and flip horizontal. I like to do it on the canvas and not on the send screen, because once I get to the next stage, if I'm working with multiple colors, I very often forget to mirror. So I prefer to do it here before I've moved on. I'm then going to save my project and add it to my Christmas collection before I cut, because if something goes wrong while you're cutting, you need to have your project saved so that you can just restart it again. I'm then going to make sure that the design is the right size. So I'm going to shrink it down to about 8 centimeters and save my project once again. I'm then going to click Make to send it to my Cricut. I'm going to click Continue, because now I don't need to do anything on this screen. Connect to my machine. And I like to cut the TechWrap HTV on premium vinyl textured metallic, just because I know that I don't have to worry about having too high a pressure. And I'm then going to load up my HTV onto a standard grip mat, load it into my machine, and cut it out. Now that your design has cut and you have cut down your little object to size, you can see, in most cases, if you've used a heavy enough cut setting, you can see what the design is going to look like from the other side. So we're going to start with the non-clear side of the plastic, and we're going to dig the weeding tool in. I find this easier to do on a table, and I'm going to pull it back gently, making sure that I'm keeping track of where my little designs are, and if anything gets compromised while it's busy lifting up, then I will make sure to keep that down onto the backing, like this little piece. For example, this little piece is coming up with the backing, so I want to keep it on the clear sheet. So I'm going to just hold it down while I pull that backing away. And I always work very slowly with these intricate designs, because I'm not sure whether they have cut exactly right on every corner, and there are sometimes some pieces that get a little bit stuck. There we go. So now the name is all weeded. Now what we can do is put it onto our serviette to see if we like how it looks on that particular serviette. So I have my plaid serviette here, and I'm going to just fold it in half, as I will probably want the serviette to go, the name to go just there in the corner. I might put it a little bit higher, but I am quite happy with where that is and how it looks. So I'm just going to move this a little bit closer, and I'm going to turn on my easy press to the first heat setting, which is around 155 degrees, and wait for that to warm up. It should only take a minute or so. And once your mini press is warmed up and your light has turned green, we're going to cover this in the Teflon sheet, and we're going to hold the mini press over the first half for about 10 seconds or so, and then move it to the second half for also about 10 seconds or so. Once that's done, we're going to place the serviette on a cold surface so that it can pull the heat out, as this is a cold peel. And then once it is cool enough, we're going to just gently pull the backing away, making sure that it has stuck down perfectly. As there are, maybe I didn't quite get the middle completely, so I'm just going to press it again just a little bit in the middle for a few seconds, just to make the glue melt into the serviette. There we go. And you have now put HTV on your serviette, and you can fold it and have it display on your dinner plate if you want, or on a side plate, or however you want to place it onto your serviette is perfect. But if you want to know how to make this Christmas tea towel, take a look at this video on the screen here. It is another fun, quick and easy project. Subscribe for more Cricut tutorials just like these ones, and remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.